Wait, so you're telling me that there's a YouTuber out there who lies to get people to follow him? Wow. You can't trust anybody these days. All right, so we're going to watch the Internet Anarchists. This video will make you hate Airrack, which is funny because I already dislike Eric, but that's because I watched other videos about him. But I trust the Internet Anarchists to make sure that we know what the real deal is. I think I need to go a little further down in the corner. Nobody puts Eric in the corner except Airrack.
And charitable donations to outright doxing someone to millions of viewers. It's safe to say Airrack's 14.9 million subscriber YouTube channel is an empire built off lies waiting to crumble down.
Wait, so you're telling me that there's a YouTuber out there who lies to get people to follow him? Wow. You can't trust anybody these days.
He has been caught faking his videos.
But he did dox somebody.
His editors just turned this section on the map upside down and then photoshopped the forest on top of it.
It's obviously fake, so why isn't your channel been deleted?
This proves he faked some of his content.
You can count on me to not fake videos, unlike almost every other creator on the platform.
I don't fake videos. Everything that I tell you is something I truly believe. You best believe that. I'll tell you that much. You can't fake having an opinion. I mean, I guess I could act like I'm a conservative and then like give you like some BS stuff that way. But for the most part, everything I tell you guys is generally stuff that I believe. I don't just say it just for the sake of saying it. Getting my real reaction to these things when I watch them. Now, I do agree with Airrack a little bit. YouTube is meant to be an entertainment platform. Nowhere in the TOS does it say that every single video you have to make has to be based on truth of some kind. But I guess their problem is that Airrack created the series where he was supposed to have 30 days to make videos each day, and he ended up selling it like he was going to be doing this thing live, and like he was going to be going day by day throughout all this stuff. But in reality, Airrack had half of that stuff already filmed beforehand. So people feel like it was disingenuous of him to do that stuff. And I agree. You know, just say, you know, give yourself more time, but don't sell us on an exciting thing that you're not going to try and do. Like I would have loved to have done that. If someone pays me to make a video every day for 30 days while I get to travel the world, I'll do that. And if you don't, you can delete my channel. I mean, I'll just recreate another one because I only got like 2,000 subscribers, but I love every single one of you the same. That's all you need to know.
Today, we'll be revealing how one of YouTube's largest creators, Airrack, is a complete fraud and has been one from the very beginning.
He just looks
we'll
like a
go
fraud.
over how he faked charitable donations.
Now that's lame. Faking charitable donations is very, very lame. Like, why not you just really a tax write-off at the end of the year? You might as well just do it, you know?
Doxed someone to millions of viewers.
That's messed up. Doxing anybody is absolutely terrible, and you should never do it because you are literally putting that person's security at risk, and you are uprooting their life, which I think is pretty effing cringe if you ask me.
And has been faking his content from the beginning.
Yeah, I don't really care about that. Now, he did have this series when he first started where he was basically trying to like sneak into movie theaters with a ladder on his back, and he was trying to show people that you can sneak in anywhere as long as you're carrying a ladder, and it went viral. But the problem is that now people are starting to say like, okay, well, you're clearly full of crap because you told everybody that you can get anywhere with this, and you snuck into parties and you were doing all this stuff when really you were probably invited anyway. That is where people are having problems. Other than that, like fictional content on YouTube, I think is very cool. I think there's a lot of good stuff out there where people are doing like social experiments and things like that. Now, you can't portray it like it's really happening. Like there should be some kind of disclaimer in there where you're telling people what's going on here. Like when you watch a TV show on television, you know that that's not really happening. But with these things, you know, if you tell someone that you are doing this and you don't do this, you're not actually doing this, then that is basically a lie. And people can feel some type of way about that. So I totally understand that.
On the 5th of April 2021, Airrack would upload a video titled Cycling Across 38 Miles of Ice, where he claimed he was on a mission to donate money and support locals from a small town named The Angle, which tragically became isolated during COVID after Canada closed their borders. To say the town was suffering would be an understatement. At the beginning, a local named Greg Henham would take his 25-foot speedboat 40 miles across the lake in order to bring back essentials for his suffering community. However, as winter came along, the lake froze over, resulting in a last-minute 30-mile ice road being created in order to connect the small community with the rest of the country.
Yo, those ice roads are sketchy, dude. I don't know how people drive on them because you could be just driving and then the next thing you know, you're just like,
Well, shit.
bam, you're into the water. freezing cold water nonetheless. Water that could kill you in a short period of time. That is what you deal with when you are living in these types of areas where the lakes and the stuff, they all freeze over. I wouldn't personally want to live in Minnesota or Ontario or Manitoba or wherever these people are living. I know. Sorry, Turkey Tom. I know you're a Canadian dude. I like the good old US of A. I like my summers. I like hot summers. I like mild springs and mild falls. But I don't mind cold weather. It's not like it really bothers me. You throw on a pair of long johns, you're usually pretty good.
During Airrack's video, he claimed he would be risking his life to travel to the Angle in order to spend as much money as he could to try and support their local economy.
Isolated from the rest of the world, there's a small place in Minnesota called the Angle.
Parkour, here we go.
Due to COVID restrictions in Canada, the Angle has turned into an island where nobody can come in and nobody can leave. Now they've lost over $10 million worth of normal tourist money. So our goal is to somehow get to the Angle and spend the most amount of money. Empty my bank account type of money. I mean, just shower them in cash, dude. All 17 of them. Now, the only way to the Angle is a small ice road across a frozen lake. So in this episode, we'll be crossing the most dangerous ice road in the US.
Whilst initially it seems like a great cause and overall positive challenge, several clues throughout the video would reveal a more sinister undertone, which involved major lies, doxing, and fake charity.
Why even do something like this if you're gonna just lie the whole time?
But before we start debunking Airrack's career, I want to give credit to Soggy Cereal for being the first creator to cover a lot of the information I'm going to be sharing in this video and helping me with the research.
I like this because a lot of people don't credit the creators. I remember when I broke that Savannah story where I was the first person to call out like that she was basically full of crap. A lot of people started crediting bigger creators because they had more subscribers, so that was where they saw it first. But really, they saw that from me, and then those people then shared that to other people.
Planning to ride an ice bike across the frozen lake in order to reach the village.
I didn't even know ice bikes were a thing.
From the queue. He built this ice bike, saw blade of death. So I'm thinking we build a couple of these and take these the 38 miles across the ice.
Are these like easy to ride at all? Would walking be more efficient than this?
As the video went on, Airrack, Phidias, and
Yeah, those bikes do not look like they are a pleasant ride. Those treads look like they would offer a lot of resistance towards trying to go across the ice. Like, you'd almost be better riding a regular bike across the ice.
his friend Mac would start their journey to the Angle. Airrack made sure to create a sense of danger with an on-camera call about someone falling through the ice on an ATV.
Freaking the ice is literally just dissipating like crazy. What you were looking for to get to the Angle, I totally understand that. It would definitely be quite the conquer. It's just the amount of water that's opening up, and I don't want it to turn into a rescue mission by any means.
So apparently somebody fell through the ice on an ATV and they're on a rescue mission right now. The ice at this place is melting like super quick.
Oh,
and they
isn't
don't wanna
that
let us
convenient,
cross at all.
Airrack?
Like they don't want to even let us try.
By 6 minutes into the video, Airrack and his friends had arrived at the most northern point of the US. And whilst outside constructing their ice bikes, we get a view of the outside of their accommodation.
Houston found us because I posted an Instagram story. Turns out this entire trip would be completely impossible if it weren't for Houston.
Keep these buildings in mind, as they are an important clue to proving this entire video series to be horribly staged.
All right, now here's where we get into like an issue, all right? Because if he's claiming that he has accomplished this major thing, nope, I would think it would crack the ice. Yeah, probably. I think so too. I don't know if Airrack had the intention of actually even doing this in the first place. I think that he was just trying to get views. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's all this guy cares about is getting views. He doesn't care about making change. He doesn't care about the charity. If he can look good while he's getting the views, he'll definitely take advantage of that. But for the most part, he does not care about these people. He cares about one thing, and that's his view count and his YouTube channel. But this is where we're going to start getting into some ethical issues here, because first off, we have a guy who's claiming that he's going to accomplish something major on this video, and it's going to end up showing that he doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he doesn't even leave the area that he's in.
After constructing the bikes, they made their way to the lake, where 8 minutes into the video, one of the bikes would begin to sink.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Back up, back up, back up, back up. Seriously.
What am I supposed to do right now?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, they literally told him that you can't go out on the ice. Am I losing my mind? They literally told this guy not to go out on the ice because the ice is melting. And what's the first thing he does? He takes the bike and he goes out on the ice and then immediately drops into the water. This guy's a genius. See, folks, this is what I'm telling you. Anyone out there who has a dream of being a content creator and you can work hard, you can do it, because that's all it takes is hard work. It doesn't take any kind of brains. You got to be stubborn enough to never stop. That is how influencing works. Eventually, eventually you're going to slowly collect people who like you as you go, and you don't have to be creative at all. It definitely helps. I think you'll grow a lot faster if you're entertaining, but for the most part, like, this guy clearly just showed that he has, like, not a high level of intelligence, to say the least. He doesn't have a high amount of intelligence. On the phone, he recorded the whole conversation saying, don't go on the ice is gonna melt. And what's the first thing he does? He builds an ice bike and then he goes right out on the ice, and then the ice falls in the ice. Shocker. This is doubly messed up too, because I know he's trying to create content for his video, and part of that was recording himself riding an ice bike. But the other thing is, this could have ended up making them have to do a rescue mission, which is going to take away resources from people who actually need it. Why not use a land water plane or whatever they are called? Yeah, I think that there is a plane that is going to be involved, Tina. I think that you are right that there's going to be a plane involved at some point here.
Let's try to pull up.
If we just pause the video here, we can see that at this point, the only part of the bike under the ice was the front wheel. However, with each video cut, it seems the bike becomes more and more submerged under the water.
Oh my god.
The earth is just straight up swallowing that thing up.
Whilst based on the video alone, it would be hard to prove what really happened.
Like, in my opinion, how heavy is that bike that they can't get it out of the water? Now, I know it's made of metal wheels, and those things do have a lot of weight to them. So it is possible that that bike could easily have fallen in that water, and it would have been just too heavy to get out. Especially since you have, you know, jagged edged wheels. As they're going to pull it out, it would make sense to me that those wheels would hook into the ice that's still there, and then make it even harder to get that bike out. So I'm not ready to condemn Airrack just yet, but I have a feeling that my opinions are going to change.
Nevertheless, insiders confirmed that they dropped the bike on purpose, and the guide who was with them almost received a fine and almost lost his job.
Yeah, because that's basically littering. That's littering. Littering and...
Littering and... Littering and... Littering and... Littering and... Littering and...
Littering and...
Littering and smoking the reefer.
Smoking the reefer. Super Troopers, anybody? I'm like a movie quote nerd, so just bear with me when I go into all these, you know, these random sayings that I get from movies I've watched over the years. I like a good movie quote. What can I say?
Following the staged sinkage, the other bike they took along also broke, leading the trio to head back to their accommodation, ending off the first video in the series. The following week, on the 12th of April 2021, Airrack would upload the second episode of the series, titled I Survived 24 Hours on Ice. It would be this very video where the lies and deceptions began to...
Ain't no way. First off, you know damn well, if you know anything about Airrack, there's no way that he would be strong enough to stay on that ice. This guy is a wimp. You heard me say it, Eric. If you want to fight me, let's book it. All right? I'm just saying. I think that you're kind of a wimp, right? There's like Mr. Beast would have actually done it because he probably has a whole team around him supporting him, but you try to cut corners. Let's be honest. You try to cut corners where you can, and you do not have the patience to actually try and stay out on that ice for 24 hours. I mean, this is what I'm talking about, Tina, when I say he's like Mr. Beast. He does these like stupid challenge videos. Now me, if I was always planning on doing this, I'm gonna do 24 hours in a VR world where I basically play like a game for 24 hours, and I was actually gonna do that for 24 hours. Like, if I promise you guys I'm gonna do that, you best believe I'm gonna start at 8 o'clock and I'm not gonna end until 8 o'clock the next day. I don't believe that Airrack does the same. I think he just cuts clips, makes himself look worse, and then he knows he can go back and just edit it in a way that makes it look like he stayed there for 24 hours. It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy stuff, guys. This isn't rocket science.
To unravel. 4 minutes into the video, they get connected with a local private pilot.
Good news is that we found a plane, and he can pick you guys up tomorrow.
So out of the 17 people that live at the angle, one of them is a pilot, and he's able to find an airplane for us. Only problem...
Bad news is he's gonna require at least $3,500, and there's about a 50-50 chance you guys will be able to land on the runway because of the ice.
So regardless, I have to pay him the $3,500.
Yeah, because it's not a taxi or an Uber. These are airplanes. Airplanes' fuel are very, very expensive. So if that guy has to fly out to where you are, all right, and prep that plane, you're talking about mechanical fees. This is why only rich people get to become pilots, right? Because it's a very expensive endeavor to keep a plane running. You know, there's so much checks. It's not a car, all right? If the plane's engine dies, you die. It's, you know, it's not like a car where it breaks down, you can pull over on the side of the road. These planes have to be inspected thoroughly thoroughly. That costs money. You have to do a flight manifest. You have to, you know, do a weight check. Like, there's so much stuff that you can clearly see Eric has no idea about. Because look at that face. He looks instantly pissed off that he has to pay this guy whether he flies or not, which I can understand. If he doesn't fly, like, that would be annoying. But again, you did this the last second, and this is the reality of the situation. All right, it's not your world. We're all just taking up space in it. This is legitimate services that are being provided to you that cost money.
Following this, they would go on to explain how the pilot wished to stay completely anonymous due to legal gray areas with where they were flying.
So this pilot guy has chosen to stay completely anonymous because this whole flying into the angle thing is in the...
Why does Airrack always do this thing? On Airrack. That's what he looks like right there. How did this guy get famous? Oh, that's right. He lies about everything. That makes sense. Totally makes sense now. I get it. I'm on to you, Eric.
The gray area.
Bad name for Eric's everywhere.
What's legal?
You wouldn't be able to put him in the video.
He wants us to blur his face.
Right.
After this, Airrack and his friend Max said this.
To hide his identity, we agreed to call him in this entire video. Have fun blurring his face in the entire video, buddy.
The reason I censored the name they quote agreed to use is because Airrack and his friend Mac decided to use the real pilot's name.
That is messed up. The guy literally comes to you. He says, I will do this, but you know, this isn't really on the up and up. I'd prefer you not use my real name or tell anybody who I really am, because this could be the loss of my pilot's license. So what does Airrack do, being the stand-up guy he is? He decides to call him his real name and act like that's not his real name. I swear, I don't know how this guy got this famous. He's an idiot. He's clearly an idiot. Nobody in their right mind would think this was a good idea to do this. And props to the people who dug deep to get the information on this, because this, like, Airrack could literally destroy this guy's name. Now, here's the problem, all right? This is starting to go viral, but not for the right reasons. So this guy is probably going to get in a lot of trouble for this, because everybody's talking about Airrack being a piece of crap, and now this guy's probably going to lose his license, or hopefully he doesn't lose it permanently. He might just get a suspension or something. I hope he doesn't lose his license permanently, but I'm telling you guys, as someone who's like a big fanatic of aviation, doesn't take a lot. Your pilot's license taken away. You do one thing that can jeopardize anybody's life, and whoop, gone. I agree, Tina. He's a complete moron. Airrack, you're a moron.
Throughout the entire video, and in Soggy Cereals' video, he demonstrated just how damaging this dox really was.
I'm not going to leak the name of the pilot. I'm gonna censor it out of respect for him. But you can still find it in Airrack's video. I mean, they chant it over and over again. Completely doxing the guy, because when you know that there are only a handful of private pilots in that exact area, then, well, leaking his name is like showing his pilot's license on screen.
Wow, that's messed up, man. They really did this guy dirty. Look at them cheering the guy's name, knowing full well they're getting this guy in trouble. Why? Because he charged you money for a flight that you won at last second. I hope this costs Airrack a lot of subscribers. I hope it really does. But I know that all Airrack's followers are all little kids, because that's the kind of people he makes content for, is little kids, little naive children. He doesn't have the intelligence to make content for adults. Like moi, like you in the comments. You guys are smart adults.
So much so that to prove a point, I just googled the name of the pilot with the location that they filmed this entire video in, which I'll go into more later on, and I instantly found the pilot.
Another point Soggy made was how Airrack and Mac continuously talked down on the pilot and made it seem like he had no idea what he was doing, even going as far as adding a fake voiceover in the edit to make it seem like he didn't know how to fly a plane.
They also keep trash talking the pilot for some reason and just bullying him.
Plane barely works.
Come on, stupid plane.
He's like talking up all this.
That right there is him. They call that priming the engine. Because on a prop plane, you got to prime the engine to get it started. And these two have clearly no idea how you start an airplane. And they're acting like it doesn't work. But the guy's priming the engine when he's doing that. These two are idiots. Anybody who has any kind of like basic knowledge about aviation and flying would know this. But these two are trying to treat him like he's a schmuck. And he doesn't know what he's doing. When in reality, anybody who does know how planes work can see that these two are a bunch of freaking idiots. You hear that, Airrack? You're a friggin' idiot.
game about how sick he is at flying planes. Tries to start it, doesn't start.
Which, surprise, surprise, is also completely disrespectful fake bullshit. See, according to my insider, and which I also suspected, this clip...
Come on, stupid plane. Wow, why don't you start? God damn it, fuck.
Well, it's completely altered. See, this isn't what the pilot said. Airrack asked someone to send him a fake voice memo so he could use it as a voice overlay and lie about the pilot getting pissed that the plane didn't start.
What a snake. What a little snake, dude. You are a snake. But this is starting to look really, really bad. Like, at first I was kind of like trying to give him the benefit of the doubt, but now I'm starting to really understand like just how much of a piece of crap this guy actually is. This guy has let fame go directly towards his head. There's no other way around it. Airrack is an idiot. Thank you, that is all.
Not fake videos.
Which is so messed up, especially after doxing him. So far so that the plane company they used now hates Airrack for faking this entire section, lying about the plane not starting, and disrespecting and doxing the pilot like this. Anyway, after...
Well, I don't know what priming an engine is, so I'm gonna act like I don't know what I'm doing by putting my friend's voiceover over it and make it look like I'm an idiot. He just looks like he did get disciplined enough as a kid, and he's lucky he wasn't my kid. Yo, Tina, preach, girl. You could tell this, like, Airrack was probably handed a silver plate his whole life, and he just has never known any kind of true consequences of life, so he just feels like the world is his playground, and everybody who doesn't get on board is just in his way. That's how I feel. That's who I think he is as a person, which usually doesn't end up making you a very likable guy. And just look at the people around him too. Like, they all look like sniveling little weasels as well.
You're doxing and bullying the pilot some more, like
look at his boy. His boy looks like he's like 12 years old. Can we get an age check on him? Make sure that Airrack isn't keeping minors in his custody.
King douchebag.
Ask God for permission to blame the plane.
Turns to Airrack and says, how do I fly this thing? And Airrack just starts pushing buttons. Circles the airport until he runs out of gas.
Following this, they arrived.
Wow, that's messed up. Like, I'm getting an airplane nerd here, okay? I'm a professional DCS player. I know how this works. But do you know how many switches you have to flip to get the engine to start?
At the angle.
We did it. Sweet. Let's go.
We did it! Let's go, baby!
The angle! The angle! We're here. I mean, it looks kind of like everywhere else we were, but...
This is where the video gets even more fraudulent, as Airrack explains his mission in the angle once again.
Now that we admitted to the angle, as I had previously mentioned, the goal was to empty the entire Airrack bank account in order to give back to the lack of tourism in the angle. So
I could be a total piece of shit because I'm giving away my money, which I'm gonna claim at the end of the year and get back in taxes. But hey, don't worry about that. Just look at the charity and look how nice of a guy I am. Airrack summed up in 2 seconds right there.
I mean, we had a lot of work to do. Firstly, we reserved the nicest cabin at the nicest resort on the entire angle. Cost a nice little chunk.
Pausing here, you might realize something. Remember their accommodation which I told you to remember at the start of the video? Well, this is the same place, meaning they aren't even in the angles, instead about 40 miles away at a resort named Sportsman Lodge.
So they decided to fly to a resort instead of flying to the angle to help out the people. What's he gonna do? Go empty his bank? Yeah, well, he's probably gonna empty his bank account at Sportsman Lodge, but it's gonna be for celebration, party, and fun. It's not gonna be to help anybody. I'm starting to understand why people have such a problem with this guy now. I'm starting to realize why he's like one of the most hated YouTubers.
Keeping this in mind, let's just watch how willingly Airrack and Mac will outright lie to the audience whilst pretending they were helping a community in need.
Firstly, we reserved the nicest cabin at the nicest resort on the entire angle. Cost a nice little chunk. It's a cool cabin though. We also got his own entire cabin. Cue the HGTV style cabin tour. Beautiful view of the lake. Out these giant windows. Sleeps 5.
So because they paid for this guy's room, who was their private pilot, they're acting like they can just bust on this guy nonstop, which I guarantee you they weren't like openly busting to this guy to his face. This is all like behind the scenes. Is this the guy who purposely crashed for content? No, this is Airrack. He's like one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and he just got called out for being a lying, sniveling little weasel. And I guess he thought that we weren't smart enough to catch on, but we are. Here in the commentary community, we take our honesty very seriously. Now you know it.
People, we only have 4.
Later in the video, they head out to the restaurant where they begin to get recognized by locals. See if you notice anything strange about this conversation.
You guys are sticking out like a
Sore thumb by being here, because nobody from LA comes to Sportsman.
said that when y'all walked in. We're like, them guys ain't from me.
In case you missed it, the local begins talking about how they stick out like sore thumbs. Following this, he mentions the location they really were at, Sportsman Lodge Resort. If you listen closely, you can hear the editor cut out his audio whilst the camera pans to Airrack doing a fake laugh. Here's the clip again.
You guys are sticking out like a sore thumb by being here, because nobody from LA comes to Sportsman.
said that when y'all walked in. We're like, them guys ain't from me.
Yeah, the guy with the guy who looks like a professional WWE wrestler. He was like, "Yo, this guy's a punk, but they're rich."
Reliability and authenticity is not just key.
Oh, that's Internet Anarchists. I always wondered what he looked like. I gotta be honest, I don't know if I expected him to look like that. He's got the nice comb-over haircut going. I mean, oh my god, look at my hair. My hair is a mess, guys. Why didn't you tell me? I gotta fix this now. I gotta put like some really nice music behind this while I fix my hair. I'm just like,
I'm too sexy for your party.
oh my god, Airrack's a bum. I'm doing this to defend Eric's everywhere because my real name's Eric, and this guy does not deserve to have the name Eric. On behalf of Eric's everywhere, I apologize for this one. We do not claim him
In the content we
but we do
enjoy,
claim Eric Clapton.
But it's also key in legal representation. That's where today's sponsor Morgan & Morgan steps in to save the day.
No, he doesn't. Look, Morgan, I'd be happy to give you guys a bump in my video, but you ain't paying me. You're paying Internet Anarchists, all right? So go find your injury lures somewhere else.
.com/and
more
$800,000 video, you would recognize Mac, who was the main contestant. Well, here's how far Mac is willing to go to straight up lie in order to get views.
With our stomachs completely full of angle food,
That's a 12-year-old boy.
angular food. Is that funny?
It's like triangle.
Is that funny? Did I make you happy, Eric? Am I proving my worth to you, sir? I'd like to prove my worth by being funny around you. Is that okay? I know I'm kind of just a tag along. We call these people Andes, people who follow creators that are bigger because we're trying to find clout ourselves. So I would just like to let you know that I'm trying my hardest to be funny, sir. Is it paying off? Am I looking ridiculous at all? I mean, I got my 12-year-old boy haircut, but that's okay because I'm funny. I'm a funny guy. All right, that's enough. My face hurts from scrunching it up like that. Party in the USA. I'm sorry, Sportsman Lodge. You're not in the angle, Eric. You told us you'd be in the angle. Why aren't you in the angle?
Shaped everything.
We proceeded to the arcade.
I cashed out, I think, like $100 in court.
Soggy Cereal did a great job at breaking down and proving beyond a doubt that Eric and his friends did not even touch foot in the angle, and that the resort was the same one they stayed at in the first episode.
Correct me if I'm wrong, right? The whole purpose of this video was to get to the angle, right? So somewhere along the lines, someone must have told Eric that he can't get to the angle. Ready? I'm gonna do his Eric's apology video. Well, I'm really sorry, man. You know, I guess I was just really bummed out that, you know, we were told we couldn't go to the angle. I mean, we called everybody we could. And, you know, I think my voice sounds just like him when I make it deep. And, you know, well, so everything didn't really work out. And I was really frustrated. So I decided instead of going to the angle any way I could, I didn't want to put in a couple extra days to get there a safe way. I just wanted to fly in there. So when the pilot told us that he couldn't get us there and I had paid $3,500 for this flight, I was just really disappointed. So, you know, instead we went to the Sportsman Lodge to try to salvage some kind of content. I probably should have been more honest and transparent with my audience, but you know what? It's okay. You know, we all make mistakes, but it's important for me to learn from them and to grow and to try to be a better person. So, you know, in the future, I promise with my content, you guys can really expect me to, you know, try to do better and to just be overall a better guy. And to the pilot, I'm really sorry, man. Like, I was just really under a whole lot of stress. You know, I'm trying to beat Mr. Beast, and even though I'm nowhere close to him, not nearly as talented, and, you know, I pretty much just make up everything I do. I just want to be, you know, transparent from now on as a YouTuber. You guys deserve better from me. Market that, save it, and I guarantee you when he comes out with his apology video, mine's gonna be just as good, and it's gonna sound exactly the same.
Guess what? When going through online pictures of the Sportsman Lodge Resort in Baudette, you can see that their cabins have the exact same interior design, bed sheets, windows, benches, fireplace, and wood as the cabins Eric lies about renting in the angle. Actually,
there's some serious balls on this guy to think that his audience is that stupid that they're not gonna pick up on this. And I think he got out of the plane and he goes, wow, this looks exactly like the place we just came from, because it was. But these kids are supposed to believe that you were in the angle. This guy's like, you know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of, who is the dude who did the 3 a.m. challenges? J Station. Oh, that guy sucks. He was the one who started that whole stupid YouTube voice where you'd be like, okay guys, let's get out and do our thing today. Oh my god, guys. He started a whole movement of people talking like him, and I cannot stand it. I cannot stand it. I'd much rather sit here and speak to you guys who are adults with half the subscribers and talk about things that actually matter than to have an army of little kids look up to me and be obsessed with me because I basically just lie and I act like a Barney character. That is essentially what Eric is. He's Steve from Blue's Clues out on an adventure.
Actually, everything he shows from now on is just part of this luxurious vacation resort 200,000 feet away from the angle. Such a coincidence that this exact shot of the angle swimming pool perfectly lines up with this shot of the swimming pool in the Sportsman Lodge Resort in Baudette. You can even see the same arcade up there.
Dude, I swear, man, I swear these guys think we're friggin' dumb. It's so important for you to remember that your audience is not stupid, all right? Just because they watch you. I mean, granted, I could see why he might think his audience is dumb for watching him, but you know what? For the most part, I feel like people should try to respect the intelligence of your audience. I hate when people think they can pull one over on someone. It pisses me off. Yeah, and that is all YouTube has become, is people trying to pull the wool over your eyes. That's why I like to sit here and just react genuinely to these things with you guys, because I feel like for the most part, like I can't lie to you guys. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and give you guys some BS explanation of what I think about this video. It's pretty obvious that this guy is an idiot and he thinks that everybody around him's stupid. Calling it like it is.
Ultimately, Airrack's videos on the angle were a quick cash grab in disguise of a noble and charitable mission. It's clear by this point that Airrack has no regard for the truth and is simply making content for the pure purpose of making as much money as possible with—
Geez, you don't think. I'm just a kid with a dream. A dream of being really rich. That's pretty much it.
little to no regard for real content. Ironic, considering he likes to label himself as one of the only, quote, real YouTubers.
Does Airrack fake videos? This question triggers me because of the lengths that we go to make sure that videos are not faked, unscripted, completely real. We'll like reshoot entire videos. We have people living in separate houses so that information isn't shared between myself and my friends. Like, we go so far to make sure that videos are not faked, so no. You can count.
Wow, he looks like such a piece of crap after that. If there's one thing you can be sure of, it's that my videos are not fake. Meanwhile, here's a fake video. This is so dumb. This makes him look so bad. This makes him look so incredibly bad. If you still watch Airrack after this, I don't know what to tell you, man. I mean, I know that sometimes people develop these relationships with these creators and they just feel like comfort watching them. But for the most part, like, he's been lying to you this whole entire time. Why would you continue to keep watching him and support him when he treats you like your intelligence is that of like a goat?
Count on me to not fake videos, unlike almost every other creator on the platform. I feel like I just started 100 beefs. Not sorry about it.
All right, please tell me, how am I faking my videos? I'm not. But a lot of people would probably say that like reaction content is like stealing or whatever. But I don't just do this. This is just something new I've started on my stream so that I can get more content out. Because frankly, I don't want to have to work my other jobs. I'd like to work just this and just create for you guys. If you guys made it to the point where you guys all subscribed and I was able to do this regularly, just imagine the amazing documentaries I'd be able to bring to you. But unfortunately, I don't have time to do that right now. So just to keep building my subscriber base, this is what I have to do. I can get more content out. It's easier to do, and I can keep food on the table because YouTube doesn't pay you much when you're as small as I am, and you know that, Airrack. You know, not everybody can go live in LA and break into Jake Paul's parties.
If you thought the angle situation was bad, this was just one of many videos Airrack has outright staged or faked, as Soggy Cereal would also expose his "I crossed America in a perfectly straight line" video as completely fake as well.
I'm standing at the northern border of America, and I'm gonna cross the entire country in a perfectly straight line. Starting in 3, 2,
You can't.
1. Now I've got all types of vehicles to go through: mountains, rivers, canyons. The only rule is if I ever step outside this line, the video's over, I lose. Now, before I set out on this journey, I did some quick maths.
Why is he walking like Oprah?
Today, full court press.
He's doing the power walk. Remember when Oprah used to do the power walk and stuff? She would do those marathons, and he looks like a frat boy who got a camera, and his parents are probably filthy rich. Or Airrack's parents wealthy? Before I even look at this, I'm going to guess yes. How did Airrack get rich? Why isn't Mac in Airrack's videos anymore? How much is Mr. Beast worth? How much does Airrack make? Yeah, no, I want to just know about his parents, guys. I just want to know about his parents. I'm sure Airrack's very, very rich. All right, I don't think we don't need to go into that. All right, apparently I can't find it, so I tried to look it up, guys. Doesn't look like it's easy to find Airrack's parents' net worth, but we tried. If I was a betting man, I would probably say that his parents are pretty well off, and that was why he was able to just not work a real job and then go out and try to become a YouTuber and not ever have to work a real job. Now, this is what it looks like to work real jobs and try to become a YouTuber. I can't go anywhere. I can't go on these trips because I'll miss work the next day if I try to. Now, I guess I could take vacation time and then do a video that way, which I'm probably going to do in the future.
To only walk across this 1,500-mile line. It would literally take me 6 months. So my friends are about to pick me up in our first...
Before we analyze the video, remember that this is one of 7 videos on Airrack's channel titled as Traveling in a Straight Line, and each series seems to be a marketing campaign for his limited time merch.
You might have noticed that we're all wearing this custom Airrack Across America uniform.
One day I will have merch, but I am not nearly big enough to have merch right now. I would look like such a tool if I was trying to sell you guys merch and I don't have 2,000 subscribers yet. I'm aware of who I am and where I'm at in the YouTube pantheon, but as I climb, maybe I'll start making merch like if I have like 10,000 subscribers. If we get to 10,000 subscribers, I'll start making merch, and it'll be the funniest merch you've ever seen. All right, it's just gonna be a bunch of random stuff on t-shirts, like with random sayings like mama always said don't dip your pinky toe in the company sauce, something weird like that, so that people are like, what does that even mean? You go, I don't know, it's just cool, I guess.
Hats, hoodies, t-shirts. It's literally us on the shirt. This design is so sick. I'm so proud of how it turned out. It's available for 72 hours, and we would absolutely love if you caught the piece to support your boys. Please! Merch available, top link in the description. We would appreciate it.
Dude, you know what's sad about these type of YouTubers, right? So these guys do like the filming and stuff like that, but they don't do any of the editing. They don't do any of that. So when he calls himself a real YouTuber, you know who's a real YouTuber? The people who make these documentaries and edit everything themselves. Those are the real YouTubers. People who are out there getting 3 or 4 views of video. 2.2 million is the estimated net worth for Airrack. $2 million, you know, that's pretty ridiculous. That's a lot of freaking money. See, now here's a bigger problem, right? That is going to happen because of this situation. So Airrack has just made $2.2 million from lying. So this is where people like Jack Doherty and Neon get these Neon get these ideas to try to become these creators who are larger than life and just make up stuff, because to them, getting that bag is way more important than how anybody views you as a person. Now you take someone like Moist Critical, who's done it for so long that he just happened to collect a lot of people over time. He doesn't sacrifice the way that he does things. He just talks like he's a normal guy. He doesn't try to be anything other than what he is, which is just a guy who sits in front of his camera and talks about stuff. That is a real YouTuber, not this jamoke.
Keep the merch in mind, as it will be mentioned later in the video. Anyway, the video starts out with Airrack and his friend Mac from the last video explaining the stakes of the challenge.
The terrain's gonna get back here. We're gonna do this all the way across America. We are not stopping until I literally touch the ocean on the other side of the country.
Yeah, but when he's not filming, how do we know he's staying in that line? Like, it's so easy to go and film him walking these straight lines. Like, I could do this no problem either. I could promise you that I'm doing something, and as long as my editing shows that that's what it looks like I'm doing. But I guarantee you, every time he cut, he went and got back in the car, and he was doing like curves. He wasn't following that straight line, dude. He might have tried to stay close to it the best he can, but for the most part, he 110% was not being honest with what he was doing.
Need to walk perfectly straight this way.
And just so you know, the line we're using to cross the country has a half-mile buffer zone on either side to avoid trespassing and make sure this mission is actually possible.
And just so that you guys know this is 100% legit, I actually put the map to this route in the description. You can go try for yourself if you want.
Despite including a map link in the description, it was just another ploy to try and make the viewer believe that it was real, as Soggy Cereal managed to completely debunk the map in his recent video about Airrack.
Yo, that dude just ate crap in the creek. That's pretty funny. Watch, there he goes, and he's in. I've fallen in a creek in the dead of winter, and let me tell you, it is not fun. It is not fun. It was freezing cold. It was rough. It was a rough situation.
So see this daycare over here? Well, this daycare is at the start of his route, and he's driving down this road on the line. But now in the next shot where they're doing something very risky, no, Airrack, watch out, he's gonna fall off the line and you're gonna fail the challenge. No! If you weren't already 20 miles off the line at this point, which I could identify by the billboards in the back, the structure of the sign, and conveniently enough on Route 29, an interstate highway which goes south throughout multiple states.
Damn, Soggy Cereal went in on Airrack, dude. He was like, yo, son, I'm gonna teach you what it means to be honest with these people. That is ridiculous, dude. It's actually kind of funny when I really think about it that, like, Airrack would probably have no idea that a guy like Soggy Cereal would watch his video and be like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna bust up your crap and make you look like the biggest liar on the planet.
Now, this wasn't the only evidence pointing towards the line being fake. Later in the video, Soggy also discovers that they used Photoshop to manipulate the map in order to create fake obstacles.
The only way for us to go straight is to go directly to the woods. That's what we're gonna do right now.
Oh, you might be wondering why you would cross a frozen swamp in the middle of the night. It's for the line!
But also, this forest obstacle they talk about, well, it doesn't even exist. See, I knew that the editors of Airrack were only going to show him allegedly driving over screenshots of the route they linked in the description to make the video seem more legit. But I couldn't.
Well, yeah, anybody who does any kind of editing knows that that's what you got to do. Now, I don't have such a problem with Airrack kind of like spicing up his videos a little bit. Like, anybody who does a YouTube channel knows how editing works, right? I could show you guys whatever I want. I can make my house look like the most haunted place in the world, which I've thought about doing before to try to get clout, but then I kind of felt like really yucky about doing that. So I just figure I'm just gonna keep trying to build my YouTube channel on like my amazing commentary, because it's the best. It's the best commentary on YouTube, right? I'm not quite moist critical yet, but I'm getting critical. We're getting critical levels, all right? We're just keep going.
Find this area anywhere along that route until I finally realized that his editors just turned this section on the map upside down and then photoshopped the forest on top of it.
You can count on me to not fake videos. This is literally my specialty. This is what I do.
You sneaky, sneaky boy. You've been caught red-handed. They really think people are some dumbasses. I bet you they thought like, oh yeah, well, here's the thing, Airrack. When people go to look for the map, they're not going to be able to find that area because, you know, it doesn't exist on the map. So you could show them the map and they won't be able to find it. They must have just flown a drone up, took pictures of some trees and then photoshopped it on top. That is some pretty shady crap. Like, why? Why do that? Why not just go across the way? Or just be like, hey, we took a break from our line walk to go drive some ATVs. Like, at least people would freaking have more faith in you after that. This is lying for no other reason than to try to trick people.
They really screwed up there, didn't they? He really doesn't give a shit about either the line or the challenge and just wants to see his YouTube stats.
Within mind?
Yep, basically. That's the meat and potatoes. See, don't get me wrong. I love when I get a video that gets a lot of views. I'm sure most YouTubers do. But for the most part, I'm on here because I enjoy doing it. One, it's fun talking to y'all. And two, I would like to try to convince whoever will listen when I see stuff like the mayor yesterday and I see stuff like this. I just want to show people that this is not okay. Like, this behavior is poor and we got to expect better of one another. That's really what I'm after. If I had people to listen to that, granted, you know, it's nice to get compensated for the time that you put into your videos, but if YouTube just absolutely refused to monetize a video, I would just still leave it up because I'm here to try and make change more than I'm here to try to, you know, go across the country in a straight line so that I can make another $1 million. I mean, I kind of feel like I'm grandstanding right now. I can't be like that. I can't be like that. All right, I like the money. I'm not gonna lie. I like the money. I do. Who doesn't, right? You think I want to make $17 an hour for the rest of my life? Hells no. Shanika don't live here no more.
Shaniqua don't live here no more. Shaniqua don't live here no more. Is Shaniqua there? Hell no.
You guys remember that song? That was a weird one.
I received an email from a viewer that proves Airrack has been a fraud from the beginning. In his 11 million view video titled Sneaking into a Festival as a Fake DJ, Airrack spends the whole video acting like him and his friends are sneaking into the festival. And the video actually seems quite believable until you go 3 minutes and 50 seconds in, when Airrack's friends Mac and Tyler decided to jump a fence where, if you listen closely, there's fake police yelling added by the video editor to increase tension.
2, 1, go.
All right, that's pretty easy to do, right? So all I'd have to do is come back from my mic like this, right? Then I'd have to just be like, hey, get back here, right? And then all I got to do is record that, throw it into the track, and then you got a police officer yelling at you. But, you know, if anything, Airrack does have good ideas for videos that people want to watch. But at the same time, where's the line?
Oh, I'm scared. Go, 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 go. There's coffee there. All right, let's hit it.
Whilst the sound effect was misleading, it's not enough to prove the entire video as fake. But what is enough to prove it as fake were the multiple times they accidentally displayed their entry wristbands, meaning they paid for the ticket before entering and staged the entire sneaking in part of the video. And just a reminder, Airrack published this video in November of 2021, right before his channel completely blew up.
You dirty, dirty little rat. To be fair, he did say I would do anything to make it on YouTube. Now, I don't know if I would do anything. I kind of a man of principle, so I'd prefer to get where I want to go the right way, like Mr. Beast did, where I just hustle and I keep, you know, reinvesting in ideas and trying to make the channel better so that it grows. But Airrack, he would sell his mama to get another 1 million subscribers. I bet you. He'd consider it. He'd be like, well, can you make it 2? That's Airrack for you. That's the kind of guy he is. This whole, like, YouTube or die mentality, gotta stop, man. Like, there's plenty of creators on the platform who make a cozy living just by sitting down and talking like I do. It doesn't, you don't have to go out and cause mischief or just mislead people. You can just be a genuine person and people will still watch you if they like you. All right, Airrack, you don't have to lie to us, bruh. You don't gotta be a big old freaking liar.
Hey, my bowl of cereal. Wait, am I on Internet Anarchists channel?
No, you're on EG Lately's channel, bro.
Hey, Internet Anarchist viewers. I snuck into this video to expose Airrack for allegedly scamming his entire audience using false advertising for the merch he sold and excessively plugged during his fake Around the World in 30 Days challenge.
Oh, this is the one I was telling you guys about, where Mr. Beast is threatening to delete his channel if he doesn't like stick to the rules. But he actually recorded the majority of his trip beforehand so that he had videos to release. Look at his face. Like, Airrack just looks like he's like a sniveling little weasel, doesn't he? Like, he looks like he's like, yeah, you dumb bastards, you're gonna believe everything I say because I got Mr. Beast standing next to me.
Gave my YouTube password to Mr. Beast, who has agreed that I have 30 days to make it around the earth.
Yeah, so during his fake 30 days challenge, Airrack not only abuses that FOMO marketing strategy with every video,
Only available during the holiday season. We're only making a limited quantity of these and they are gone forever.
he also promises his viewers that
every single merch person does that. We're only making a limited amount of these, so buy it now. Why would you want to walk around with a shirt that says Mafia Incorporated? Like, first off, nobody's gonna know that that's Airrack. Secondly, nobody's gonna care because they're gonna think that you're into like Goodfellas. This is silly. This is just silly. This is silly stuff going on here. Airrack, what the hell are you doing, bro? Why are you doing this stuff? Why you gotta be like this?
if they buy these limited edition hoodies, they'd receive one with a unique serial number on its sleeve.
Have a unique Mafia number on the sleeve and are only available until the end of this month.
Or as Airrack puts it, your unique Mafia member number.
Every sleeve is marked with a Mafia member number. It proves that this is your official membership to the Mafia.
Wow! I mean, we all know how much viewers care for personalized products from their favorite creators. Thanks, Airrack.
This is my number for the Mafia. I am 1246781967430222222222224. That is my Mafia number. What's yours? I mean, I get the idea behind it, but it's pretty lazy. Now, I understand that Airrack can't like appease millions of people like at a time. It's just too many people. Too many people who would probably want access to him. So he has to come up with something unique like this. At the same time, I don't know. I'm kind of interested to see like what is the sleazy part about this.
That is so cool. Except everybody got the number 1 on their sleeve.
Oh, you dirty little bastard. That is messed up. So I got 001. I got the number 1 from Airrack. I got the number 1 from Airrack. Maybe he's trying to say the reason I put number 1 for this is because in my heart you're all number 1. That would be some sleazy dumb excuse that he would say.
And I guess the Airrack Mafia is now the Airrack Nafia because they couldn't even get the packaging correct. Now, I don't know, but where I'm from, we call that false advertising. And that's illegal.
That is
Great
illegal.
job, Airrack.
is marked with a Mafia member number. It proves that this is your official membership to the Mafia.
Alright, now that my job is done here.
I don't know how YouTube's gonna look at this, because on one hand, Airrack makes them a lot of money through advertising. So I don't know if they're gonna do anything about this. Now, obviously, I don't think he should be deplatformed, all right? Like, he's not doing like what Riot OLL was doing. Like, that guy deserved to be deplatformed. I don't feel like anybody deserves to be deplatformed unless they're doing things that hurt people. Now, if people want to keep watching Airrack, that is their right to do, but at the same time, like, I can understand why people are upset about this. You know, it's not necessarily the good thing to do.